Hey everybody, sorry that commercial did not go well. So we are hindered by this crappy streaming service, and it just can't seem to get its shit together when I try to share a video. But that's all right. We kind of fly by the seat of our pants on this channel anyway. So what I was trying to show you was the Kalash Bash competition, because our guest today has a lot of history with Kalash Bash competition and just our inner Wolfpack circle. I see a lot of people in the comments that I see all the time with this gentleman. And we're going to bring him up here in a second. So what we like to do when we go live here is have everyone in the comments tell me where you're from and what are you drinking. I'll start. I'm from the great state of Texas, drinking some body armor because it's what plants crave. Gives you hydration. It's the banana strawberry flavor. It's the best. Don't let AK Mario tell you that blueberry is the best. It is not. It honestly tastes kind of like cough syrup. This is the best flavor, AK Mario. Sorry, not sorry. We got Davernov in the chat. We got that guy Possum. There's Davernov. I even see all the way from Germany. What is it, like 4 a.m.? Got our good buddy Pascal. AK Everyday. I see Charlie, Tunnel Rat. A lot of the homies are here today. I'm sure Sinpei's in here too. Just haven't seen him yet. Bunch of the homies. Hey, guess what? We have a moderator finally. Svetlana is watching the chat, so don't be fucking around. She'll block you. She'll delete you. She'll put you in timeout. She has 3 buttons. 3. Very cool. A lot of people here tonight. So anyway, without further ado, let me give this guy a little bit of an intro here. Turn this music down. How about that? Oh yeah, that's a good spot. I met this gentleman, geez, it feels like 3 years ago. I want to say we met back in 2020. And what really drew me to this this fine fella, back in the day when I was shooting AK competitions all the time, I made it a point to try to be one of the biggest, loudest personalities at the range and bring my AK and try to crush some AR Johnnies and make them cry. Because I sustained my body with gypsy tears back then, and beating AR Johnnies with AKs was like eating gypsy tears. I would wear the Pit Vipers, I would wear the pineapple shirts like I was going to a swingers party, and I would just try to go crush matches with AKs. So I go to a match one day, Texas Kalashnikov, and I see this dude walking around with cowboy boots, looked like he had no socks on, cowboy boots, cut off shorts, looked like he had a chest rig on that he made himself. And he had Bart Simpson tattooed on his thigh, and big freaking glasses. And I thought, we're about to be best friends. And he was there with an AK. Something about this guy's personality, and I think a lot of people in the comments would agree, has this magnetism. This guy is a freaking friend magnet. He's got a lot of them. Makes new ones every day. He's a phenomenal shooter in his own right, AKs and pistols. Without further ado, this is Jose Sweet Dick Diaz. Finally.
Howdy. Thank you so much for having me.
Sound quality of any guest we've ever had, by the way.
I got the filter and everything. Not getting spit on any of these damn microphones.
So what's going on behind you? It looks like there's a lot of animals. I didn't even notice that before.
Oh, I'm over at a buddy of mine's house because I don't have the whole computer set up like all you rich people out there. But he's got chinchillas. So we may hear some chinchilla-ing later. And if they get out of hand, we can, I don't know, make a little mag pouch out of them or something.
Oh, Davernov's in the chat. I'm sure he's already thinking chinchilla fur, resell chest rig, make it happen. So, dude, I've done enough talking so far. There's some people in the chat that know you, that love you, but there's always going to be some people that have probably never heard of you before, some newcomers to the channel. Tell them why you are here, why we're friends, who you are, what you're getting into. Who is Jose Diaz in a nutshell?
So, man, my buddy Justin, Squirrel Master, he's the guy that basically got me into this whole scene. He was selling a Norinco Mac 90 back in like 2017, I think it was, and $700. I was like, yeah, dude, I'll buy a rifle. I've never owned a rifle. I had a little 22 pistol beforehand. I grew up shooting and lived in some rural areas and knew my way around guns, but didn't really play the way that we do now. Bought that AK, did all sorts of dumb Bubba stuff to it, just, you know, living my newly rifle owner life. And I think it took me about a year of trying to gain confidence to go to a match. And I was terrified. I really wanted to do it, but I was terrified. I had like 3 or 4 different people come with me to that first one. I think it was one before that I'd met you. And man, I fell in love. It's adrenaline rushing, just fun. And the people, the community, like you say, really makes it. The people are amazing. But for whole Sweet Dick Diaz in itself, that character, I like playing on stereotypes. I like taking them to the full extent and trying to break them too. And, you know, I'm not a country guy, but that character seemed fitting and a good outlet just to be wild.
So that's a character is what you're saying.
Absolutely. I'm a chef in
Yeah, way down yonder
wait a
on the
second.
Chattahoochee, you never knew how much that muddy water meant to me. But I learned how to. Yeah, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, you never.
So, dude, I gotta say, man, I don't know who I was talking to. Someone slid in the DMs when they saw that we were promoting this live stream, and they were just like, "Oh my God, Jose, I love Jose." And we were just talking about you, and I said, "Man, I love competition shooting, right?" And just shot one last weekend, one of Mike and Land's first 2-gun matches. And, you know, it's so funny. You go to those matches, and all these guys are super cool, but, you know, everyone's got their shirt tucked in, and, you know, people have their Solomon racing shoes, and, you know, they've got their very perfectly, you know, everything's color coded, all the mag holsters, the gun is paint. Yeah. But man, and that's cool. But man, back in the day when me and Chris were going hot and heavy in these competitions, dude, I wanted to be 50 different colors at the match. Like I wanted my glasses to be like a friggin' mirror, like these pit vipers. Like I wanted to wear a bright flamboyant hat to where everyone would go, "Who the fuck is this guy?" and is this dude honestly take himself seriously? And then just go freaking crush.
Yes.
So
now that is awesome. That like shock value is great. And
yes.
from getting some of the stereotypical FUDs to give you some looks like, "Who the fuck are you? Why can I see your thighs?" And then smoking them is so gratifying.
Yeah, dude. That's what really drew me to you. And I remember, and we'll touch on this a little bit later. But I remember the first match. It was at a TK match.
Oh yeah.
And I see you walking around, and I'm just like, I think you were wearing those boots.
Yeah.
And I just thought, damn. See, this is a whole lane of competition shooting. Not a lot of people know about. You always see like the prim, proper, sponsored 3-gunner guys, or maybe you see, people that are just starting, they're kind of fumbling around. There's this whole lane that I think you and I have both fit into so well, where people like to freaking party while they are shooting a competition, and you're like a good shooter at the same time. You see a lot of these people that fit into this lane go to the Kalash Bashes, the Lethal Weapons, and a bunch of these really what's the word? I don't know. It's like they're these huge matches that don't take themselves too seriously.
Oh.
You don't see this. And I don't know. I don't shoot a lot of IDPA or USPSA anymore, but
No,
you don't see this guy competing at those types of matches. So it's just I don't know. It's this whole lane, man, and I freaking dig it. I wish more people would just like be a freaking Macho Man Randy Savage, like be a larger than life character while you're shooting a match. It's literally like wrestling personalities of the late 80s picked up guns and they go to shoot competitions. I love everything about that.
Absolutely. No, it's fun to stand out for sure.
Anyways, I had a few questions here.
Uh-oh. Where'd you go? I'm here alone. We lost the man.
Sorry about that. Here, let me fix that. There we go. So I've got a ton of questions for you, but I know that there's people here in the comments too, and I want to play nice with all of them. So if there's anyone in the comments, let's take a couple minutes and ask your boys some questions. What's funny though is like I think 90% of the people watching all know you. So it's going to be stuff like, do you wipe your butt standing down, standing up, or sitting down? Or what's your favorite crime? Or all the same stuff we ask each other all the time.
Throw it at me, boys.
Yeah, that's actually what happened. My mod kicked me out for a second.
That she used all 3 of her buttons on you.
I don't know what I did. Did something. See, these are the kind of questions we're going to get. How big are your feet?
Ooh, I wear a solid 9 in child's.
All right. I want to ask the mod, if he starts asking for pictures, use that timeout button. Do you think 7.62 will come down in price?
Ooh, man, I'm not really educated in that area of guns, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I love shooting AK. I don't want to pay more than what 5.56 is now. So please, I do. I'm going to will it into existence. Yes, I do think 7.62 will come down. It will be cheap again. All the fun.
I think it will too. Way before 5.45 ever comes down. Because I think if an American's going to start making ammo, the odds of them making 7.62, which they already kind of do, but steel case, I think it's probably going to happen before anyone invests the time to draw out 5.45 steel casing.
Yeah. But then that brings in the whole 5.56 AKs, which I think is the direction, and I think they're badass.
Hell yeah. Talon says he didn't know you, but now he's going to go follow you on Instagram. If anyone wants to follow Jose, I've got his Instagram right down there in the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Search him. You'll find him. If you can't find him, you can always go to like my page and click on my follow, the people that I'm following, and it's a quicker way because people get shadow banned on there.
One of my favorite things is hearing people try to pronounce my Instagram name.
I'm so glad you said that, because will you tell me how to say? Because I always say it wrong.
So first, let me hear what you say in your head when you're just scrolling.
In my head, I say gastronomon. Gastronomon. That's about as far as I get. In my head. So whenever I search your Instagram, I just type in gas and it pulls it up, and I don't have to think about it anymore because it's a little difficult. Gastronomic
hedonist. It's fucking misspelt, bro. It should be H-E-D.
I copied and pasted like 2 or 3 times over. I might have fucked it up a couple times.
gastronomy having to do with the intestines,
missing the
having
meat.
to do with food, and then hedonism, the belief of like pleasuring oneself, like doing things in life for personal pleasure. And it basically is just saying I get off on food. I love food.
So here's what we'll do. Bam. Here's your boy's Instagram right here. I just put it in the chat. If you want to follow him, there you go. Okay, I'm way behind on questions. My bad. Do you have any dongs?
Dongs. I have a chopped dong, a circumcised boy, Romanian, turned it into a shark fin.
Yeah, I think we have a picture of that somewhere. You still have that?
Yeah, I actually did put that on my AK again. I just love that wood look.
There you go, chopped dong.
Oh, yeah.
Brando 104 would like to know, do you like your feet being touched?
Absolutely, dude. Foot rubs are the shit.
Yeah, I agree. Charlie, Tunnel Rat wants to know, have you made love to any moms today?
Moms, no. I did just get back from seeing Charlie's grandmother.
Ooh.
And big shout out to Charlie. He's the guy that now owns that original AK that I was talking about.
Yeah, I was playing with it 2 weeks ago at the Airbnb. He brought it to the TK match.
Nice. Yeah, it's wonderful that I sold that thing to Charlie because I still get to see it every now and then. And good God, do I have seller's remorse. But she ain't gone for forever.
Well, you know where to find it.
Exactly.
Can you touch my camera through the fence? Do you know how to follow Proto?
That all went over my head.
Derek Taylor, me and you know what that truly means. That's how we do it at the Falcon Car Wash. All right, next question. Jose. Jose was the first person in Texas who I wanted to shoot like and better myself. Who was the shooter that motivated you?
Oh, dude. Easy question. Clay. Clay was a big fucking motivator. Going to TK and just seeing that dude crush, I was like, I want to do that. Seeing how fast he shot, I was like, I want to do that. The reloads, I wanted to do all the things that he was doing. I had huge inspiration. I think a big motivator, like drive in my life, has always been seeing someone else that is doing something, immediately being like, I can do that. I can do that too. And I just go until I can, or at least get damn close.
Well, I don't know how that happened. I mean, I'm not that fast and I lose a lot. But you know what it is? I think it's I think there's a way of looking fast, even though you're not shooting well. And maybe that's what it was. Maybe from a distance, it looked like I was doing all right.
You were crushing the stages or the matches. You would always take first or top 5. The times that you weren't playing, which was as equally as fun and made me like take it not as seriously and be like, this should be fun as well. It's God, competition shooting is so much fun.
That's what's so cool about Jim's match. Like, you can shoot it one or two ways. Like, bring something super rad that you know you're not going to win with and just enjoy it. Or you could bring the gamer gun and turn it up to 11 and crush if you want to. It's however you want. And any matches like that, there's just so many ways to get anything you need out of a match.
I remember one time I brought my shotgun with slugs to ensure that we crushed the wood chop. And I fumbled with loading it. And I remember Zach Viator was just harassing the shit out of me. Like, come on, Jose, you brought this shotgun. Use it right.
Damn, there's a dude we could never have on the live stream. We would just end up talking about PSA all day.
I think that would be fun. You get
oh no, it would be awesome. So here's what I want to do. I got to get Jay.
Yeah, Jay and him on the same one.
And I'm going to be like, here's the deal. We can only talk about PSA and why you love Yugo AK patterns. That's it.
That'd be entertaining as fuck.
AK Everyday says, Jose, I'm shooting my first US PSA this weekend. Bless me.
Oh, hell yeah. What is he shooting? What pistol you got? How many mags you bring in? Give me more. US PSA is hella fun.
What's your best advice to somebody wanting to get started in competitive shooting?
Oh, dude, just go. Go, be open to advice, be ready to be humbled, and don't expect to win. For sure, go and do your best. Get someone to film you, and get someone to film you and not your hits, like a full body of you and how you're moving. I've found to be the most beneficial. And like, it's kind of like studying tape in like football or boxing. You know, you watch the other people, watch like someone who's really badass, and then watch your video and see how your movement differs. Mimic. Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, it's such a good point. You'll see, like it's really hard to know when you go to the range so much by yourself if you suck. But man, shooting in front of people and like he said, just building up the courage to go get that first one out of your system. You're gonna bomb it. Everyone bombs that first one. Get it out of your system, and that first one will show you everything. What gear didn't work? Oh, should I bring a cart? Maybe I should have brought water. All the little things you don't think about, you get all that out of the way on the first one. Then the next one, then you crush. You'll crush your time on the second one.
And get a timer. Get used to that beep. That would help.
Very good point. What do y'all think about barils available in Atlantic? Good for competition?
It's a Clay question.
I'm not so sure a baril's the best AK to start for competition. If you're okay doing a little work to it, sure. That's more of like a duty collector grade defensive AK, in my opinion.
I personally am a firm believer in it's the Indian and not the arrow. But I'm sure you know more about like that specific. I don't know anything about that gun. So
here's a question for Jose: condom or no condom?
Raw dog all day. Pull-out game strong.
You know what I always tell Rachel? You can get away with no condom all the time. As long as the girl's on top, use gravity as nature's contraceptive. What goes up must come down. Works.
That's right.
60% of the time, every time.
Every time.
Oh, we are way behind on questions. All right, let me try to lock this in. Here we go. Of course. Jose, do you wipe standing up or sitting down?
I don't know who the hell fucking wipes standing up. That's ridiculous. Definitely sit down, do a little lean. Now, I do personally go front, back, side to side. I'm kind of a freak about making sure that's squeaky clean. But
do you follow it up with dude wipes or baby wipes?
You know, when I had a girl in the house, she would have those things all the time. And admittingly, I would try them and it's pretty comfy. But then I still had to follow up with another dry. Like I couldn't pull the pants up with a wet cheek. That's just weird.
Kind of makes you feel like you've lived your whole life as a lie, because you'll wipe until there's nothing there. You hit it with one baby wipe and you're like, oh my God, I like need a freaking shower. I wasn't even close to being clean.
Dude, I used to cook with the dude who wouldn't shit at work. He would only shit at home because his standard was an immediate shower after every poo.
Waffle Stomper, man, my man.
Each their own.
What is your preferred reload style for an AK?
Ooh, absolutely. Grab the mag first. I have two different ways. My barrel is nice and short and the gun is light, so I can keep it posted into my shoulder. And then you flick, insert, go under, bang away. The other way, I got one of these little extensions on my mag release that I saw from Bolts and Hose. He was doing like shimmy reloads is what I like to call it with his Galil. And I was like, oh, that's fast. That's cool as shit. You get to do one operation, getting the mag out with one hand, and the other operation immediately going to the new mag. So it felt to me like it was saving time. With that one, in order for me to hit that shimmy, I have to tuck the stock under my pit. So I'm sure I'm losing a little time there, but it looks cool and it's pretty damn fast.
Yeah, I think both are totally good ways to do it. Question for me: do I ever use LPVOs? Never on AKs. I can never get the proper eye box or eye relief. I just can never get it where I need it. Here's another good one. Optic magnif. I'm thinking he's saying magnified optic or no.
I don't. Most of the stuff that I shoot isn't past 25 yards. The only time that I've really had to shoot out past that is when I do 3-gun, but I'll normally use an AR. But then lethal weapons. Lethal weapons was out to 6 or something with irons, and that was with my 12.5 barrel AK. So that was rough. I don't think I hit but one of the furthest ones out. I did do it that second day when Jay let me use his ticket. I did clear that stage, and I was pretty proud of that. But no, I think the weight is silly to add like a 3-time in front of it. And I mean, if you can do it with irons, you could learn with your dot and your holdover. No magnification, not unless you're going really far out.
Yeah, dude. I mean, even at KCON, we're walking iron sights out to 600 with a spotter. That's like a game changer having a spotter, but
For sure.
you can do anything you would ever need to do, in my opinion, with a basic red dot. If you know your holdovers, you can get it done.
Definitely.
Big Papa Fluffy wants to know, how you feeling, bud? Hopefully a lot better. So you were sick for a long time, right?
Dude, I was hardcore sick. I had no idea what the hell was going on. I had a fever for 3 weeks totally. 101 fever every damn day, laying on the couch, drinking water, just trying not to die. I went to like a regional clinic, and they gave me some amoxicillin, and then I like went back like after 3 days when it really wasn't doing anything, and got blood work. And then they called me like 2 days after that and was like, your kidney enzymes are off the charts. So I got terrified. I had no idea what the hell that meant. I went to the ER. I had a cousin who was actually working at this same ER as like a nurse, and she was kind of talking me through it and talking me down. And I was legitimately scared. I didn't know if the regional clinic told me it could have either been hepatitis or liver failure or alcohol or something, something bad. So I was like, that's scary. I went to the ER, and then after being there for like multiple hours and my body drank like 2 IV bags, the doctor comes in, he's like, you have mono. And I just looked at him so confused. I didn't hear much of what he said after that because I was so confused. That's like the kissing disease you get when you're in like middle school.
So who were you smooching on?
I guess my dog, the only person that's getting any action, or I'm getting the action from. But I don't know, dude. It's really weird. Apparently, he told me that multiple people had been coming in there with cases of mono. But as an adult, that shit kicks your ass. And I'm still recovering. I do feel a lot better. I'm experiencing vertigo. Or like if I shake my head hardcore to one direction, or like from laying down to getting up, I'm really dizzy. And those like little blotches that you get in your vision, like sometimes you can see when you close your eyes, or just like little floaters or whatever they're called. I've got like a sea of grackles in the top of my vision. It's really light, and I feel like it is getting lighter, so hopefully it will go away totally. But it's that was scary. Like the first time I drove and I went outside, it's like kept looking left and right, thinking there were birds in the sky. Just fucked up vision.
Yeah, man, we've all been thinking about you.
Appreciate you guys.
Vertigo sucks. I got vertigo bad after I rolled my Jeep over years ago. I had vertigo bad for weeks and weeks after that.
How does that work? Did just like one day it went away or dissipated slowly? Or
yeah, and I think what happened, I think the airbag hit me so hard and whipped my neck really bad. And they say there's like these, they call them stones or whatever, like inside your ear in there somewhere. If those get jostled too much, you can get vertigo and get dizzy. What happened to me, like the next day, I'm at work one day and I kind of whipped my head a little too quickly to look over my shoulder, and the room started spinning.
Ugh.
I had to like grab the arms of a chair and hold myself down because I mean the whole thing was spinning. It got better over time. That's been years ago, and it really doesn't happen much anymore, but it does stick with you for a while.
God, yeah, that was something pretty concerning when I was experiencing it. I was like, man, I hope this goes away, because that's gonna really put a hindering to the competitive shooting.
So if there's anyone in the comment section that has a question that we didn't ask, just copy it and paste it in later. Because that was a topic that I wanted to cover, you being so sick lately, and Big Papa Fluffy wanted to talk about it now, so we did. But I, along with everyone here, wanted to say that we are very happy to hear that you're doing better. Hoping to see you back at the match. It's cool to see you out there just sort of chilling with us last time. Man, I want to kind of pivot and get into something. So when we first met, what is that, like 3 years ago, back in 2020, if I'm not mistaken?
That's correct.
You had your AK that you said you owned or you bought after meeting Squirrel Master, correct?
Yeah. Bought it from him.
How did you and Squirrel Master meet?
Oh, dude, he and I have been buddies for years. I met him in culinary school back in like 2009 or 2010. Super cool dude. Into the same shit that I was into. And we just partied all the time. We would always hang out after class and go and like cook at his apartment, have parties, have all the people over. And that was always so much fun. And then, let's see, I moved or stayed out in Wimberley where I was cooking immediately after school. And he was cooking in, there he is. What a handsome boy that is. He was cooking at an Italian food restaurant in Austin off of Congress. And I was moving back to town. He was like, I'm a chef over here, bro. Come over, come be a line cook, come cook with me. And so I did. And he would be in the center talking to the expo, this dude Graham, and they would just, it sounded like they were speaking Chinese all day. 7.62 AK, pistol this, and like all kinds of shit. And I was just like, that sounds so cool. I don't know what y'all are talking about, but I love how into this y'all are. And that's all they ever talked about. So I would go out. I think I went out with him for one of his birthdays. His dad took us to the range out in Lone Star, the Lockhart range, and shot out there more and more, hanging out. I think I remember the first time I went to his house after culinary school. I walk into his front door and there was just a 1911 Colt on his coffee table, and I was like, you have guns? Just like blown away. And yeah, dude, it was an easy friendship. Dude's great. Really good dude.
Yeah, he's another one of those dudes. When I first met him, I was like, man, I wish every person that I shot with at a match was just like this eccentric gun owner. I really dig eccentric gun owners, eccentric competitive shooters, people that just have their own freaking style, and you don't try to like dress like every other competitive shooter does at a range. There's just something about it, man. It makes the whole thing way more chill, relaxed, and fun. Squirrely's one of those guys, man.
Yeah.
I don't see him at the match too much anymore, but when he does come out, it's a real treat, dude. I love shooting with him.
He got married recently. He's got a daughter. He's got big dad world life kind of shit going on. He doesn't get to shoot as much, but he and I are doing a falling steel match this weekend, so you should see some footage of he and I soon.
Cannot freaking wait for that. Who would you say, other than Squirrel Master, what is his first name, by the way?
Justin.
Okay, I feel like I knew that, but dude, I'm so bad with Instagram handles. I call everyone by their Instagram handle.
Oh, it's horrible. It's a lot to remember.
Yeah, I think that's got to be like a millennial thing now. We just call everyone by online handles. So you meet him. He has like this infectious love for guns that kind of spills over to you. You pick up your AK. He takes you to a match for the first time.
I got him to go out. He hadn't been going to matches. I was like, I found TK, I believe, online, and I also found Texas Tactical. And I was just like, yeah, I don't know which one to do. Oh, I think I found the TK on Practice Score, and the way that it was worded, it just seemed so welcoming and inviting. So I was like, yeah, that's the one. And I had him, I had my buddy Mikey, I had my girlfriend at the time, and I had Mikey's girlfriend. They all all came out like a support just because I was so terrified. But yeah, he definitely mentored me a lot of the way through it. I had silly questions like, what's a buffer tube? And he was there, you know.
Who were there any other influences, like close friends? Maybe for some friends of his as well, but were there other people that kind of helped you into this thing that we're a part of now that's kind of like taken over our free time?
I mean, people that helped me get into it, not like that first jump, but I mean, as of now, man, there's so many people that I feel mentor me and like that I look up to and that I ask questions still to this day. You being one, Jim from TK, Matt Kitzmiller.
Yep.
There's some other dudes. There's this guy named Rowdy that shoots AK in San Antonio a lot. Lots of guys, man. I'm sure there's tons of people that I'm leaving out too, like other people that have taught me like pistol stuff, Havalti Tactical. So many people. There's numerous amount of people that have been arms open with just helping another shooter grow, and that's contagious. And you definitely want to spread that. And it's, yeah, I mean, there's probably everybody in the comment section right now are people that I would say the exact same thing. People that have answered questions or had me answer questions or just help each other grow along the way. Are you thinking? So, am I supposed to say someone's name in particular?
No, I was just curious. I remember you and Squirrely were like inseparable when you first started coming out there. So I didn't know that he was the one that really kind of helped you get into all this. So that's freaking cool.
Yeah, no, it was definitely him.
It's badass, dude. I got a guy like that too. That my buddy Chris, like when we first bought like AKs, we went to our Red October together, and then like through each other, we just kept kind of feeding into this never-ending competitive scene. And like without, I don't know if I would have done it by myself back in those days. Like I don't know, and I always think back to that when I see people in comments or my DMs saying, "Man, I just don't know about going to this match thing. I don't know anybody." I totally get that fear. It's totally out of your comfort zone. Had I not had a good buddy back then that wanted to try all this too, it would have been difficult for me. So I can definitely relate to that.
I think somebody else that should be mentioned that really helped kind of Sweet Dick Diaz become a thing was Davernov. Davernov saw me acting a fool, I believe, in some of your videos. He wrote me on Instagram and was like, "Dude, I love your style. Would you wear one of my masks, or would you, just go up on your wall?" I was like, "No, dude, I'll sport it. Like, we'll go competitions and play around and have fun." And he was like, "All right, that's cool. I'll send you one of those." And he's like, "I'm also interested in like building you an outfit, like a look." And I was like, "Okay." So we collabed, and it ended up being denim and like the kind of redneck vibe. And he put some Bart Simpson themed things on it. And dude, he's been there since day one, just like supporting me, encouraging me, and helping me grow. And it's pretty awesome to see him grow from being just the one dude, but now he's like a full team of people. He's got his partner Vlad, who is like a huge hitter with his company. And I know that they're trying to do more things than just what they're doing now. They're being fluid and branching out. And he and I have had talks about a Davernov plate carrier. So that's something to be looking forward to for Davernov.
Yeah, I've seen like even today he posted a sling mount. It's like a leather wrap for your stock with a sling mount. I thought, how freaking cool is that?
Right.
Yeah, the guy is just full of good ideas. And this is the rig that you're talking about.
Yes.
The only one of its kind. And dude, the freaking skull ring on that crotch piece is unbelievably cool.
Man, it's great. It was great. He was like, "I have so many ideas. I don't know which direction to go." And he decided on that. And
then Sweet Dick Diaz was born.
Exactly.
It's so cool. So PT threw $5 in the chat, and he said the burning question is, how short do those shorts get when you're on fire at a match? I've heard rumors, man. This might be just legend, but some say the more A zones you hit, the longer those pockets get, and the shorter those shorts get.
That is 100% correct, which is why you see on practice score on my penalties and points down, they're always in the 30s and 40s. I'm all sorts of penalties, and those A zones are keeping my shorts exactly the same length that they started out with.
So it balances out.
Yeah. When I'm running really fast, they're starting to catch on fire, but then I keep missing.
Something that you said earlier, you met Justin in culinary school, and one of my questions is, I already know the answer to this, but outside of guns, like, what's the big passion?
Oh, it's been food, man. I've been cooking professionally for 17 years. When I was a little kid, had a stool right next to the stove. I was watching or participating all the time. It's been a passion. It's been around my family, my grandmother, my mom, my uncle, all my aunts. They're all incredible cooks. And so it's just been around me all the time. And, you know, it's something that you have to do. You have to eat, got to cook it. It's a industry that's never going to go away because everyone's going to be hungry tomorrow. It's a pretty cool thing to do. And then to make art out of it, to really get a passion for it, to get into like molecular gastronomy where you're doing weird scientific shit. It's a lot. It's a lot to learn. You can never learn it all. And it's really fun. It's really fun. This is something that I've just recently learned how to do, making salami, like filling up that synthetic intestine, smoking it, drying it. It's cool. It's really immediately gratifying. You make something, there's an absolute right or wrong on whether you did it correctly, and you can serve it to someone and you can see their face and how happy they are, and it's a cool thing.
So man, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I've been watching videos of you cook for years at this point, and some of this stuff, I just saw one earlier. I mean, dude, some of this stuff is just so impressive. Bro, when are you going to go into business for yourself doing this stuff? Like, when are you going to come and be one of the food vendors at Kalash Bash?
Hey, now that's a pretty cool idea. I don't think I would do it because I would miss out on the shooting, bro. I don't. Those worlds I keep moderately separate. We'll say Tufu. I made him some Asian flavored chicken, I think 2 years ago at Kalash Bash. Dude was losing his mind over it. So that's going to be a reoccurring thing for sure. I'm going to throw down out there, but not as hard as some of the other people. Like, I saw the dudes at Lethal Weapons with crawfish, live crawfish, that I made one of them bite Charlie's nipple. And I mean, there's other dudes that are bringing whole smokers and like going to town. I think it's more fun doing the grungy aspect of it, like Charlie again, where he brought a rattlesnake and we grilled that and ate it the morning before the match. Like,
oh God, he finally told us that story the other weekend. I had heard rumors of that story forever and never really knew what really happened. And I finally got to hear the actual story of what happened. Like, he brought the snake with him. I thought he caught it out there. Mm-hmm. He just brought the snake, started eating it, cooking it and eating it in front of people.
Yep.
So Davernov throws $20 in the chat. Money means nothing to this guy, dude. Just goes outside, picks a 20 off the money tree, throws it in the chat.
Always commando.
Yeah, are you commando under there? Yeah, you got to, man. It makes you more aerodynamic when you compete.
Oh yeah. I don't wear underwear. Underwear for rich people.
Yeah, and it's just you're gonna blow the ass out in it eventually anyway, and then it's worthless.
Charlie's mom doesn't like it when I wear underwear.
We got to get Tunnel Rat on here one night. You know, we were just talking at that Airbnb, and man, my man was getting deep. So Charlie was telling us stories of, he's like, man, Clay, do you ever think, he's like, the friendships that are made at these events, at the campsites, he's like, bro, I've met some lifelong friends. And he says, dude, he's like, my son will be watching videos of guys like Jose on TV and go, dang, Dad, you know that guy? And he's like, dude, I'm so proud where I can tell my son, yeah, dude, I actually know him in person. So it's just so crazy because, I mean,
It's a wild feeling.
it was super wholesome. He's just like, man, Jose is like this freaking macho man, Randy Savage, like superhero with an AK. And my son just can't stop watching these videos. And he's like proud of his dad because his dad gets to hang out with this guy. It's just cool.
That's incredible. I don't even know how to react to that. It feels insane. I don't know, man. I think to that effect, there have been people that have written me on Instagram that are like, you make me want to dry fire more. You make me want to, you know, be better at shooting. And that's just a huge warming feeling to impact somebody and inspire somebody like that. That makes me want to go harder. You know, it's a cool feeling. Pretty indescribable.
Well, man, you know, Instagram really does, and you guys really have to follow my man here on Instagram. You have done such a good job of keeping your Instagram super entertaining. A lot of people, dude, people DM me all the time asking questions about you, who trained you, how'd you get so good? I hear about it all the time. So you've done a good job of that, and you should be very proud that people are inspired by the attitude that you have, the personality that you have. While maintaining an awesome, approachable attitude, you can still go crush at a match, and you post all of your dry fire footage. And a lot of people, I guarantee you, watch that and they're like, damn, why don't I do that more? And they go in their living room and they start dry firing and they get better because they see that that's what you're doing to get better. You're posting your scores, you're posting your stage shooting. And I have seen over the years, you go just to the freaking stratosphere on skill level. Like the arc just went straight up all of a sudden, and you've gotten so good. And one of the questions I wanted to bring up was dry fire. You do so much of it on your Instagram. And someone asked about it earlier, you know, is that like a viable thing? I think one thing you have shown is just how much you can learn from dry fire. So what do you think about it? Like how much have you gained from dry fire practice?
Dry fire is everything. Pistol work, which I've really come to fall in love with, it deteriorates or diminishes when you don't do it. The skill level goes away, so dry firing helps maintain that. Muscle memory is huge. You know, there should be a point where you should be able to do things on autopilot, and that goes with everything. You know, we'd have that with driving. There's times where you kind of blank out when you're driving from one light and you're like, I don't remember passing through that light, but I did, and I drove just fine, didn't hit anything. You get onto that level with anything that you're trying to do competitively or quickly or whatever, and you'll crush. Dry fire has changed a lot for me too. I do like to do a couple of those just to post to Instagram to, you know, do the fast reload and it'd be cool. But I do more than just that. I do a lot of eye training, which I heard from Jerry Michalik, and I don't remember other people exactly, but like Jerry Michalik specifically says where he goes into like I'm not thinking about it mode, where basically autopilot, you know, like if you try to make your body do it, your body won't move as fast as that. But when you let your body do it, then it does. I think the eye training is huge. I have like a fake plate rack set up in my living room. My gun is in my hand at all times. If I'm sitting on my couch watching TV, watching anything, it's in my hands. I'm manipulating it and I'm pointing and transitioning on things on the TV or to the plate rack or to the couple of targets I have set up. I think it's important to keep your skills fresh by dry firing. And I think with, I don't know who said this, but they said that pistol work makes your rifle work better. And I think that that's helped a lot too, because I don't do a lot of rifle work as much, but it's still there pretty well.
I'm so glad Rachel's watching this. So we've been shooting a lot of matches lately that have a lot of pistol shooting, and it's just something we don't do much, and it is a perishable skill, like you said, right?
Yeah.
So she's starting to see that, like, we'll go months and months and months just doing carbine matches, and then we go do a 2-gun match, and she's like, oh my God, like, it's perishable, right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell her the same thing that you're saying right now. I'm like, I tell you what, like, there's something to be said about just sitting in the living room, just finger banging your guns. Pistols, just, even if you're sitting on the couch,
100%. I do it from sitting down.
Oh yeah. And I told her, like, eventually you're going to dry fire your gun so much and just play with it. You can do anything you want with it with your eyes closed. Do full reloads with your eyes closed, totally by feel, pushing out, pushing in, holstering, everything. And I think she's definitely started to see that, wow, like, pistol it's not like rifle. Like, you can go a month, 2 months without shooting your rifle. You have 3 points of contact. It's like kind of getting back on the bike, right?
Yep.
The pistol, man, you only have 2 points of contact. It is so much harder to shoot accurately and consistently as it is with like a PCC or a rifle. I see huge benefits in it. And you definitely need to slide up in her DMs and say, hey, I heard that you don't do enough dry fire. Put in that work. And I see a lot of people here in the comments definitely agree. And like I said before, your boy Davernov, money means nothing to him, throws another 20 in.
What?
He says, we are 100% inspired by the three of you. Rachel, Clay, Jose, thank you. Something in Cyrillic, I'm sure it's something very nice. But thank you, Davernov. Like,
super
if
generous.
anyone here in the comments don't know about your boy, let me grab one while I'm talking about him. We're going to have a little love fest about Davernov for a second. Real quick. My man Davernov, okay, in Brooklyn, has been making these beautiful leather chest rigs by hand, okay, using some of the finest leather. No one's ever made AK gear or any kind of gun gear with this type of leather of all different sorts. And dude, this is the part nobody sees. This is the part of the chest rig nobody sees. There's no reason to make the back almost cooler looking than the front, okay?
Dude, he pimps out the backs. It's incredible.
Every single one has this patch sewn in with the date, where it was made, and Davernov, all done by hand. And what's so cool is sometimes if you get lucky, he'll repurpose actual AK slings and hardware for the straps. I can't say enough about this. I remember talking to him years ago, man, when his Instagram was real small, and he kind of showed me a couple of things that he was doing, and he explained to me, you know, at the time, making these things behind enemy lines, and it's just things he had to make in secret because without getting into his personal business, the line of work that he was in would not have been okay with him doing gun stuff. He was doing all this stuff as a side hustle, and it has blown up to his full-time gig. It's a full company. He has a business partner now, and I am so freaking proud of his success.
And a staff. He's got like multiple people there too.
Yeah, and it's like everything he posts is just better and better than the last, and a cooler idea, an even cooler idea. Just when you thought that's the coolest chest rig I've ever seen, a day later you'll see one like, okay, no, I want that one more than the one I saw yesterday. It's just he constantly has outdone himself. So you got to go follow Davernov on Instagram. And now he's got a website where you can start buying this stuff. You don't have to it's not like waiting for him to post on Instagram like it was. He has a website now, and it looks very professional. And he is a professional and an artist. Rarely are the two in the same. He is a professional artist for sure.
No, he's incredible.
Mario made a good point. You said shooting pistols will enhance your rifle game, right? So Calvin, Firepower United, we all know Calvin, right? Fuklong. This guy will not shoot AKs at all year long, but crushes pistol competitions. Red October rolls around, he'll bring an iron sight AK out and win his division.
Jesus.
And I talked to Mario about this all the time. I'm like, I never see this dude practice with AKs. And it's like, bro, AK iron sights are basically pistol sights. This dude shoots pistol matches so much. He's so used to shooting stages, gaming stages. It's just an AK. It's the same sighting setup, and everything just falls into place. Only now he's got 3 points of contact. He can be faster and more accurate. It definitely does increase your rifle game.
USPSA, what you were talking about, how he gets the stage plan and games the stages. USPSA specifically taught me how to stage plan. Like there are some ridiculous, intense stages in USPSA, and yeah, that's helped carry over hugely. Pistol all the way.
So would you say what percentage would you say if you walk up and shoot a stage, or you're about to shoot the stage? So there's a percentage of skill level, and there's a percentage of stage gaming and stage planning. How much percentage of actually planning and gaming the stage would you say is like overall? Like, is it 50% skill, 50% stage prep, or does it swing more to one way?
No, I definitely say it would swing more towards skill.
Interesting.
I feel like I've had this conversation with some dudes the moments that we're walking stages, gaining our stage plans. He's like, dude, someone else who's really badass is going to go the opposite way that you think is the right way, and they're going to crush it. And I think that has a lot to do with skill. Stage plans, a lot of the time for USPSA, it's going to be a common time that most people will finish it at. I don't think gaming it is going to, I don't know if I'm answering this correctly. I do think it boils down to skill, basically.
Okay. See, I'm like the other way. Like I don't know. Like I feel like you can be. This is just me talking. I know everyone's mileage may vary, but sometimes I just feel like you can be a consistently okay shooter, but if you are really, really good at finding the certain holes in a stage that you could game that not many people see, shave off 5 seconds there, which would have taken a phenomenal shooter a lot of running and gunning to do. You're consistent, you follow all the rules, you don't get penalties, you're consistently going to score very well, being like a mediocre shooter. But if your stage prep is there, I just think it does so much for you. And then if you're a phenomenal shooter, this is the guy that literally will go film the stage and like Cool Runnings, go back to his room, sit in the bathtub and practice the turns, right? The whole day before.
Yeah.
And it shows. It's a little overboard in my opinion, but at the highest of high level competitive shooters, that's what they do. They film the stage, they go to their hotel room, and they watch it 100 times.
Yeah, I guess you're right with stage planning. Yes, if you choose the wrong stage plan where it's obviously faster going another way, I'm sure skill won't overcome that.
Mm-hmm. June, 99 cents. Thank you, by the way.
Nice. I know that there's some stages in USPSA where you can choose to take a further shot, like a more difficult shot, as opposed to taking your time to running up front, and that kind of benefits you. So I guess that was what I was saying. Like if you have the skill to take those hard shots, then you won't have to focus as much on gaming it. You can, I guess you gamed it from taking the harder shot.
Yeah, I'm totally digging these questions, man. So someone had a question earlier. Can't find it, but it reminded me something I wanted to get your opinion on really quick. Let's see here. You've done all kinds of extracurricular activities in the gun world, and I'm scrolling through my random Instagram feed the other day, and I see this, and I was like, hold up. Let's see.
Calm down, we're all good.
How terrible that draw was of mine.
Why are you out there?
Knife!
So I remember scrolling by that, and I remember thinking, this is True Exodus. Follow him on Instagram, and I'm like, man, that guy in that video looked a lot like Jose. Kind of sounds like him too.
Oh my
gosh. Calm down.
So then someone else sees it, and they're like, yo, was that Jose getting shot by True Exodus? I'm like, holy shit, it was. So not too long ago, you had done a little work with this company. What was the name of this company that actually made this software?
Laser Ammo.
Laser Ammo. And so how did they find you or meet you? Did you reach out to them? How did that work?
So that worked because I was working at a shooting range in Pflugerville, Texas. And there was a dude that would come in there all the time. And I was super friendly to him. He was chill. He was like, hey, dude, you're a nice guy. Do you want to come do some work for me? I was like, you're going to pay me to shoot and film me and put me in a commercial? How could I say no? So we got that set up. We went out to my buddy's land out in Wimberley, did some filming. That was specifically for the commercial because that was at the moment where ammo was really skyrocketing, or not, sorry, it was becoming unavailable because of COVID. And so Laser Ammo took that opportunity to kind of hit that angle for advertising, had me come do this little video. And it branched from that. He needed more actors to do these little skits for the video game. And I was more than welcome to do it. It was a lot of fun. It was silly and it was horrible acting, and it was just a good time. And it wasn't like a lot of money, but it wasn't bad. And I became really good friends with the guy, Carlos. So I was really honored to be able to do that, to be able to get with a big company like that. And I went to a match out in Manor. And this one time, this dude comes up to me and he's like, does laser ammo mean anything to you? It's like, yes. He's like, I've killed you before. It's like, that's awesome. Yeah.
I was just about to ask, like, what is it ever funny to think like there's people literally shooting you every day with this training software?
That's kind of mind-boggling for sure. I know that there's like pro athletes that, you know, a football player, and then they make it into the NFL and they get immortalized by being in the Madden football game. Like, I kind of feel like I reached that by being in the video game of Laser Ammo where people are shooting me. It's kind of wild.
Man, that is so funny. Yeah, I just remember scrolling one day and I see True Exodus, and I completely so I remember that you had promoted this company, but I didn't know that you actually were one of the actors used for the scenarios.
Yeah.
Until I saw this post. Man, that's wild.
The best thing about that particular commercial was we had been filming for like 2+ hours, and I was smoking and I was drinking. And by the end of it, he needed the actual physical interview thing where I spoke at the end of it, and you could see my eyes are just so gone. I was toasted by the end of that, and it's kind of funny to see that and know that that's what was taking place.
Man, that is too funny. Yeah, I'd written that down, and I thought, man, it's got to be funny knowing that all day long there's people shooting you in so many different ways. And something we said off camera, like in the commercial that we just saw, you're like very professional, you know, find your range. You got to stay home and practice. But your footage in the video, you're like, get the fuck out of my face. And you pull a gun on people.
Yeah, dude. When he was directing, he was like, you could say whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Just, you know, be you. Do the Sweet Dick Diaz character. I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to curse and act a fool. And then he calls me couple of days later or whatever, and it's like, yeah, Laser Ammo liked it, you want to do some more? I was like, let's do some more.
So whose driveway were you filming in?
That's my house.
Were the people like, did anyone see you guys out there like pointing guns at the camera filming?
Man, I live in the ghetto, so I don't think anyone would say anything. I swear I hear nightly shots pop off in my neighborhood. Nobody's calling the police here.
That is funny. What a cool thing to be a part of. I wish if anyone wants me to do acting work, to get shot on that kind of thing, I'm totally down.
Dude, there's a chance we can make that happen for Laser Ammo. Maybe we can get him to come out to a TK match, and then we'll film like on a little aside over there. Mm-hmm. That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be super sick. So man, I have been neglecting the comments for a while. You've had probably 100
boys.
questions. So now's the time. I don't want to scroll back because there's a ton of them. Anyone that has questions, let's take 5-10 minutes. Hit Mr. Sweet D with your questions now, and I'll start reading them out.
I got a question for you, Clay.
Oh, for me? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What are you drinking?
Oh, we already talked about this earlier.
Did we talk? Oh no, you're not drinking any booze?
Man, it's
I was so
Tuesday night. I got to
excited.
work tomorrow.
Dude, I work tomorrow too, but I couldn't not drink. I made a
What do you-
batch cocktail of rum painkillers.
Oh, Jesus.
You ever had a painkiller?
I believe I have. Yeah. Rachel, where do they have painkillers? It's Cheddar's. She loves freaking Cheddar's, dude. And they got painkillers there.
I can't think the last time I went to a Cheddar's.
But yeah, man, I'm dude, Monday through Friday, I'm boring. Friday night, it's on, but weeknights, I'm boring as hell, dude. I just have to be up too early. And my job sucks if I'm hungover. Jose, what do you think of AKs shooting PCC matches where pistols are the majority in the match?
Personally, I have a vendetta with this dude that shoots PCC, so I kind of don't like PCCs. But I think that because you're shooting an AK PCC at a pistol match, I mean, I'll allow it. AKs are legit. It's cool. It's harder. It's an AK. You gotta love the AK. But I think it's fun to be different, just like we've been talking. You're gonna be the dude that shoots an AK PCC at a majority pistol match. That's cool. I think that's cool.
But it does when you go to a pistol match and there's like a dude, because some divisions allow you to bring a PCC.
Mm-hmm.
He crushes and brags about a score. It's like, dude, it's not even worth bragging about. We're all shooting pistols here.
Yeah, it's a whole nother ball game. You have a leg up essentially. So yeah, but I don't know. I still respect it.
So it puts him at like notch 1. At least you're shooting an AK PCC, but you still shoot a pistol next time.
Exactly.
Thomas Slav's in the chat. He said, no question. Just want to thank you for being awesome.
Dude, that guy's a great guy. Absolutely. Biggest heart. That guy's awesome.
Tunnel Rat wants to know, what's your favorite meal to cook? Number 1. If you have to wow somebody, what is it?
Okay, if I have to wow somebody, the go-to, if I get a girl over at the house, I'm making her sushi. And that's an easy way in. Dude, it's not as hard as it looks, guys. It's fucking easy. When people tell me, oh, I don't know how to cook, I'm like, did you just tell me you don't know how to fucking read? Like, the recipe tells you what to do. You can read, you can cook. Favorite meal to cook, though, is steak, dude. I cook myself a steak once a week, if not multiple times a week. I love steak. I can do like a whole meal, just beef and nothing else. And I do eat A1 on my steak every now and then. I like some A1.
What?
I do. I absolutely do. There's all sorts of different sauces you can put on a steak. There's a really incredible sauce. It's called a bordelaise, and it has a red wine with beef marrow in this sauce, and it's incredible. But there's something to say about nostalgic flavors. And being a kid, we used to go to Sirloin Stockade. I'd get a well done fucking sirloin and douse that thing in A1. And that makes me happy still. Just as good as like a $70 A5 ribeye with salt and pepper.
Man, I'm so surprised to hear you say that. I've got
Are you an absolute A1 hater?
I don't know. I don't like any, like, I like some peppercorn sauce on like a New York strip. I can deal with that. But I'll tell you what, dude, after my wedding, Matt sent us home with 2 huge jars of like this blueberry barbecue sauce.
Ooh.
Same thing he was putting on his sandwiches at KB.
Okay.
That stuff is freaking good, man. I might put a little bit of that on a steak. Rachel,
Hell yeah.
we're doing
Sounds
that.
great.
Your boy Mario wants to know, what's your favorite Kalash Bash moment?
Oh man, there's a couple. Favorite Kalash Bash moment every year is going through those gates, dude. the anticipation, the excitement, the chats beforehand, right when you go through those gates, it's incredible. Now, favorite actual KB moment was, I think 2 years ago. I shot on Sunday and then cleaned everything up, and like the whole campground was basically empty. And I think Squirrel Master was with me, but we decided to throw the whole grill away. And I don't know how much attention we paid to if it was still on fire or not, but it was still on fucking fire. And so I think I was shooting more or something happened, and I get a text, and it's from Justin, and it's got this dude in a kilt like stomping out the grill right next to the dumpster, like in the center by where the award ceremony is. And I was like, oh shit, we fucked up. And he was like, Clay's mad, Rachel's mad, or they're pissed off or something. And I was like, oh man, I don't want to tell him I did it. But
dude, that's so funny. I remember saying on the mic, I remember someone tapped me on the shoulder, and I was like, whoever threw something on fire away and caused a dumpster fire, you suck. Like, I remember being so mad in that moment.
I think I wrote you like an hour or something later. I was like, dude, it was me. I'm sorry. I set that shit on fire. I wasn't trying to commit arson. I just threw some coals away.
You know, it's funny. All the stuff that has happened at the events, I've been so mad about. I'm like, God, if I just knew who did that. It's usually always been like one of the homies. Like, I remember someone was like, tapped me on the shoulder. Hey, someone like really, really trashed the bathroom trailer. Like, there's puke and stuff. Everywhere. I know it was Tufu, but he'll never admit to it. And everyone sold him out. And I remember telling him, I'm like, you could tell me if it was you. He's like, oh, buddy, I would not have done that to you. I know it was you though. Everyone said it was you. He's like, oh, buddy, no,
not me.
I would not do that to you. I know how to handle myself. I'm like, I know you don't know how to handle yourself.
We know he doesn't. That's too good. Yeah.
That's so funny. So your favorite moment was making a dumpster fire at the award ceremony.
Absolutely. There was lots of laughter had after that moment, for sure.
Josh wants to know if you have any revolvers.
Ooh, I did. I purchased super fucking hastily. I purchased a King Cobra 7-incher, I think. I don't remember. It wasn't the longest boy. It wasn't a Python. It was a King Cobra. And I was like, some reason I got the hankering that I was going to start doing revolver IDPA, because I saw this dude, he was an asshole, actually. This fuddy guy at this match in San Antonio. He was doing speed loads with his revolver out of these pouches. And I was like, dude, that's so cool. I like that. This is a whole new aspect of trying to go fast. Jerry Michalik does that shit. Like, I could do that. I want to do that. And so, yeah, I bought that gun, and it wouldn't feed or wouldn't accept the speed loader that I had for it. It literally, the way those Colts release the cylinder is by pulling back as opposed to pressing forward, which is so much more easy. I don't know why they made it pulling back, but that was kind of hard. It just didn't really accept the gun, and it wasn't the right gun. Like, I should have gotten a Smith & Wesson 686 or the 686 Plus, or one of those ones that like it's actually designed for it, or one that's cut for moon clips. That would have been really cool because that's even faster.
Oh yeah.
But like I said, I purchased it hastily, and I sold it after like 2 weeks or something, and lost like $500 on the sale. It was really stupid.
I can't shoot this fast. So
I was just mad that I bought the wrong one. Oh, dude, totally down to stay with you guys at the Airbnb. I shouldn't have been around anyone, or like not that close, but I just had to come out. It was good to see all you guys last couple Sundays ago.
PCC equals old people.
Exactly.
Right you are, Mike.
Exactly. But I can't deny that you can rock a PCC really, really fast. And if you're trying to get some adrenaline rush, I could see it. But shoot an all PCC match and then match yourself against other PCCers.
I don't know about this. Maybe you do. Why do PCC matches require 16-inch barrels? Is that a thing?
I believe so, and I think it's because braces are illegal, or in like IDPA or something like that. Like you're not allowed to have a brace.
Got it. So I've shot my SBRs. I've got that AKX9 that's been an SBR forever. I shot that at a PCC match. I want to say it was USPSA. I don't remember. It's been so long ago.
I'm not super keen on all the rules, but from what I do remember hearing, I think IDPA does not allow braces.
Maybe it just cuts through the odds of anyone, I guess, maybe bringing something out that's not stamped that should be or whatever.
Probably.
Maybe they consider braces not being as safe as a stock. Who knows?
But I do know at all the local matches that I go to, no one's going to tell me, hey, stop shooting or you can't do that. It's like the ones that are sanctioned where they'll really be like, no, you can't compete today. Get a different gun. Get a right gun.
Yep.
That's
Midwest Savage. That's the shimmy. Midwest Savage wants to know, are you a waffle or pancake guy?
Ooh, waffles, if they're available, they're so much better. They're crispy and delicious. And they kind of remind me again of that nostalgic aspect of eating Eggos when I was a kid. But if I'm cooking for myself, pancakes. I don't own a waffle maker. Pancakes, they're easy, super fast.
That's your puppers, huh?
Yeah, that's Mac. That's my boy.
Untapped TV wants to know Ray-Bans or Pit Vipers.
100% Pit Vipers. I actually ordered a pair off of Amazon from some Chinese company. It took like 3 months for them to arrive at my doorstep, and they didn't have the Pit Viper writing on the front. So I wrote in silver Sharpie, shit wipers. Those are awesome. I miss those.
I remember your bootleg Pit Vipers very much so. So we got Miss Kyber in the chat. Very cool.
What's up, Rebecca?
A literal dumpster fire.
Absolutely. That was too much fun. Dude, this stage was rough, man. That was really rough. I think there were some small, thin targets on the right side that I didn't hit. And then I went dry, did a reload, shot like a couple, and I was like, fuck it. I didn't know how strong those penalties were. That hurt.
So this gentleman, I actually, before I read his comment, has let me borrow a very interesting gun to review for the channel that's coming up very soon. My good buddy Rodrigo, he just shot the match with us last week.
Nice.
Member at the ranch. He wants to know, what is your favorite restaurant in Houston? Do you have one? I know you're not local to Houston.
Oh, no. I know. Houston has another location of my favorite restaurant and a spot that I used to work at, Uchi. It's Japanese sushi, kind of new wave, incredible food. If Texas was recognized by the Michelin star ratings, they would definitely have a star or two. Like they're up there in quality, and it's pricey. But you can go during happy hour and, not break the bank. But it's high quality, really good stuff. Other than that, right down the road from that location is Ramen Tatsuya. Another incredible ramen spot. Good quality.
Man, dude, I can't get enough ramen lately.
Yeah.
That and just pho and ramen. I think everyone's having a love affair with that right now, and I can't get enough of it.
Dude, it's so good. It's delicious.
Svetlana would like to know, and I wanted to ask you this as well. Did you expect to win the Spirit Animal Award at KB last year?
Absolutely not. That was a surprise. It was a great honor. It was just awesome. That fucking belt is amazing. And dude, it just feels good to be recognized or whatever. That was awesome. I was completely grateful for that and 100% unexpected.
I'm trying to find a picture of it here on your page because I wanted to elaborate on that.
There's one on Sweet Dick page, I think.
Wait, you have another page?
Yeah, I got a page. Just Sweet Dick Diaz.
Let me see here. What's so funny about this picture It's like it's your pregnant wife. It's very sweet Nick Diaz. It's very funny. Here we go, right here. Here's your boy. So we do this award every year, and I remember when we were planning Kalash Bash that year, I'm a huge nostalgic fan of like old retro wrestling, back when personalities were larger than life. Everyone was a freaking cartoon character. The colors were just wild. Everyone had the tassels and the glasses and the promos that they would cut, the Jake the Snakes, the Hulk Hogan's, the Macho Man's, the Ultimate Warriors, like that era of wrestling. I wanted to emulate that. So I thought, dude, you know, when we think about spirit animal every year, and if you don't know what that is, we have a ton of awards that we give out at these events, and some are won, some we pick. Like we just, as a group, we pick. There's like costume awards and all this stuff, and the spirit animal is the one that we sit down and we think, okay, if there's one person that has just the freaking spirit of what Kalash Bash is, who would that person be every year? And we've picked some great people every year. And I remember having this belt made, and we just keep thinking about it. And I'm like, Tony, dude, if Jose shows up, he's getting it. And he's like, without even batting an eye, he's like, duh. Like, of course Jose's winning it this year. And just everything, it's everything. You've brought people into the community. You inspire people in the community. You have a hilarious, magnetic attitude that we talked about earlier. You have that crazy style. And, you know, your AK, every AK I've ever seen you own has your personal touch all over it, whether it's like the upper handguard that you've made out of a beer can, your own shark fin. You're doing like your own scroll work in the wood, your own refinish work, all this crazy stuff. You got it that year. So I remember, and it was so funny, dude. You know, months later when we do Lethal Weapons, we pick Babushka Kid to be the spirit animal, and he's dressed like Macho Man. And he cuts a promo on you.
Yes, that's so good.
Usually people walk up, they get their prize, they smile. He grabs the mic, and I'm like, oh my God, he's about to cut a promo. And he's like, Jose Diaz. And he's like scanning the crowd, and you're not there. And someone's like, oh no, he's not here. And he's like, oh, I'm coming for you next year, Jose. That title is mine, dude, brother. It just cuts this awesome promo, like one take jakes it. I'm like, oh, damn. And then I thought, dude, how cool would it be if like the spirit animal is this something like you got to knock someone off the podium next year and take that belt. We'll make a new belt every year. But just thought, dude, that's exactly what I wanted that to be. Like, I wanted that to be something everyone just aspires to win. You don't win it at the match. It's not something that you draw randomly. Like, that is all won by attitude and like your actions over the whole year leading up to the event. That's how you win that. And bro, it couldn't have gone to a better person last year. So that was really cool.
Thank you so much. It's a huge honor. That's really cool. I have that thing up in my living room. Thing's badass.
I think you have I think this is right there, right when you won it, right?
Immediately after, yeah. I was like, I get weird inspiration every now and then. It's like, okay, I think of something funny, and that was it. Dude, we're talking about that last mag for a while. Where the hell did that come from?
Oh yeah, I never realized. Was that in your prison wallet? Where was it?
It was stuffed way the fuck up there.
Oh, dude, so funny.
No, Kalash Bash is such a party. It's crazy how, I mean, I'm in a group chat of just Kalash people, and we're talking about when it's happening, what we're gonna do, how it's gonna be. Like it's such a sought after and thought about experience. It's great. Can't wait to see it next year. And I'm glad that y'all got it all situated to the new time of year, back to how you originally intended.
Yeah, man. The weather's nicer. There's not a lot of other events that month. It's easier for vendors. It doesn't stress them out. It's easier for people trying to buy tickets because, I mean, in October alone, just the amount of things that everyone wants to go do. There's in October alone, 3 big AK matches, most people cannot afford to go to all three. They can't get the time off. It's too much stressful. And I want to go to all that stuff too, and I can't because I'm freaking working KB. So I think it's going to be good for everybody.
That's awesome.
One of these freaking Kalash bashes, we got to get this bad Johnny right here, Davernov, to come show his freaking mug.
Dude, what
and
the hell?
Sponsor the event in person.
100%.
You hear that, Alex? You got to come out. And he would like to know what kind of pizza topping, if any, is your favorite.
Canadian bacon. Canadian bacon, regular bacon, sausage. I like meat lovers. Fucking my pizza's got to be all meat. I don't want any veggies. I don't want any green shit. It's all protein.
Damn. I like a lot of veggies. I like a lot of spinach, a lot of pepperoni, and lately I've been eating a ton of those margarita pizzas with
those
a
are
lot
good.
of full sliced tomatoes.
That is really tasty. You get the dough, you get some fresh basil and the charred tomato. That's delicious pizza. That's a classic.
Oh, this is a great question. Who's your favorite Instagram gun bunny?
It's got to be Scarlett Briggs. She's so nasty. She's so fucking unhinged. She says whatever, and I appreciate that. Her jokes are always so dirty, and I think that's hilarious.
Rachel, do not storm in here. This is Scarlett Briggs, right?
Yeah, that's her.
All right, well, there you go, everyone, if you want to follow. And hey, she doesn't have a huge following, up-and-comer over here. And Jose likes this chick.
Oh, yeah, she's a babe. I do think I misanswered, though, because I know what he was going for. I had had a conversation with him.
I know, too.
A while back. He had posted hanging out with Adelina May, who is babe. Oh my
not
god.
Not who I thought we were talking about, but okay.
And I was like, dude, I think I said something ridiculous. Probably I shouldn't repeat, but I'd be like, I would do blah, 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 blah to be in the same room with her. And he showed her and she giggled. And I think that may be what he's getting at.
What did he say? He said something like, I would walk a mile on broken glass just to hear her fart into a walkie-talkie.
It was, should I say it?
Nah. I mean, hey, go ahead.
I said I'd eat a mile of her shit just to kiss her ass. And that's the kind of shit Scarlett Briggs says. I mean, she's out there with some nasty shit.
Dude, that is so funny. Rachel and I have met her a couple of times in person through Mario because they're all in the same circle.
Yeah, I don't know her at all. I probably shouldn't have said what I just said.
Yeah. She doesn't watch this. She won't see this. It's all good.
He'll tell her.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm way behind on questions. I'm so sorry, everyone. Let me get to a good one here. Where's my moderator? Should I have a moderator handling this?
Slacking. She's too busy smoking cigarettes. She went outside to get a cigarette break and a vodka.
Okay, one question. Ooh. Sushi or Korean barbecue? For me, Korean barbecue is pretty bomb, dude.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. It's kind of funny. I forced myself into a sushi position just because I don't really like fish. And as a chef, you have to eat everything. You have to know how everything tastes and textures and all that stuff, you know, how to care for everything. So it's like, I'm going to get into sushi just so I can be well-rounded. I don't eat that shit. Korean barbecue all day, dude. It's about beef. They have the best dishes. Bulgogi, galbi. God, Korean barbecue is so good. I will say, I absolutely hate going out and eating Korean barbecue because of the way. Well, their pricing, dude. It's like you can do a couple of different trays of whatever, or you can do all you can eat for like $60, and then you order like another round and you don't eat but like a couple of pieces, and then they charge you more for it. There's some weird stuff going on there about how if you don't finish, you get charged more. It's silly.
Yeah, that is weird. I never thought of it like that. For you potato connoisseurs, we gotta know, tots or wedges?
Dude, neither. I don't even fuck with those. I guess if I had to choose, it'd be tots, more crunchy parts. Wedges are usually soggy.
Yeah. But French fries above all else. Yeah.
Absolutely. And straight over the curly ones.
Mm. Dude, you know what I like cherish in a good breakfast restaurant? If a quote unquote self-proclaimed breakfast spot doesn't have hash browns, well, not necessarily hash browns, but like what is it, babe?
Potato hash?
Potato, not potato hash. Babe. She can't hear me. She's too busy moderating.
Mom!
It's not casserole. What am I thinking of here? God, I'm having a major brain fart.
Potato dish, breakfast.
Yeah, I guess it's hash brown, kind of.
Hash brown, like the McDonald's little patty thing. But at like a cafe where it's half a plate. Can hear her yelling.
She keeps yelling hash. It's not hash. It's not hashish. It'll come to me.
Okay.
Here's something I'm not big on are the poke bowls. I think I've had two bad ones that I just didn't. It was like too much going on, way too hearty and like just filling. It wasn't for me.
Poke bowls use the lower grade of tuna. Don't play with it.
Oh yeah. So over here, if you ever come to our neck of the woods, there's a ramen place we got to take you to. So I don't know if you grew up watching Dragon Ball Z or not.
Oh,
or
yeah.
if that was like a part of your childhood. We have a place called Dragon Bowl Z, right? It's this really freaking awesome ramen place. Everything on the menu is Dragon Ball Z themed. The restaurant is Dragon Ball Z themed. It's this tiny little hole in the wall. Like there's enough room for like 6 people to eat on the inside. But when you walk in, there's just Dragon Ball Z memorabilia everywhere, all over the place. They've got like K-pop playing. The dude that runs it has an awesome Instagram. In fact, I'll show you here. But dude, the food is so bomb. And if you're into Dragon Ball Z, like me, I know Mario is too. He's like binge watching it right now. They have like a big Boo statue that stands by the front door. They literally even had a meet and greet where they had the English overdub voice actor that played Goku there.
Wow.
Like signing autographs and stuff. Like the voice that we all grew up listening to. Gohan. It was Gohan. Goku's a guy. But she voiced Gohan. It was so cool.
I would like to go there and order the Kamehameha Bowl and not get it for 3 days and have a server yell at me, Ka! Just for 3 days. And then I finally get my bowl of ramen.
You're going to have to tell him that idea. Yeah, there it is. Dragon Bowl. And bro, their boba tea is so good. It's the best I've ever had. So good.
That looks bomb.
But yeah, this is the place. Let me see if they have like a shot of the front. Yeah, it's this little hole in the wall place in downtown Conroe. It's just so cool. Yeah, that's the opening party. The guy that runs it is super rad.
That's awesome. I like that.
Super rad.
Ramen's incredible.
Little egg in there, little beef brisket. Damn. Damn.
I got a fun ramen story. I would go to the spot Ramen Tatsuya, and they have a dipping noodle. It's called a skemen. So it comes with a little smaller bowl of just broth and like a little bit of protein and stuff in there, and it's super dense, like pork bone broth. It's incredibly fatty and it's really good. And then it comes separately a bowl, larger bowl with your noodles, your lemon squirt, your ajitama egg, and some nori. And you're supposed to get the noodles, dip it into the bowl, eat it. And that heats the noodle, and it's really sticky, fatty, sticks in the noodle. It's incredible. It's really, really good. I tell my cousin about this place. I'm like, hey, go to Ramen Tatsuya, go get the noodles. They're really good. It's the dipping noodles, blah, blah, blah. Like months go by and he's like, I've never gotten it. I don't know which one you're talking about, but I do keep getting this one where the sauce comes on the side and I just dump it into it. It's like, dude, that's the one. That's the dipping noodles. You've just been eating it wrong this whole time. That was pretty fucking funny.
You know, dude, I've been to so many restaurants and I feel like I'm eating the food wrong. And when I first started getting into pho and everything else, I'm like, I know I'm eating this wrong. Do I put the whole bag of stuff in there? Just the bean sprouts? Just the stuff I like? I still to this day think I eat pho wrong.
I'm pretty sure you're allowed to put whatever you want from that bag into your bowl.
I don't eat it with a fork like someone in this house.
What a nerd.
Eats all Asian food with a freaking fork. Dude, I act like I don't know her at Japanese and Chinese restaurants. I'll just like be chowing down. She'll hit that with a fork and I'll like just start slowly scooting away from her. Incredibly average. Mike, can't wait to be y'all's favorite RO. A lot of you guys, I guarantee you have met Mike at Kalash Bash or Lethal Weapons. Just being at one of the events at the ranch, I promise you, you've met Mike. Very good dude.
He wasn't the dude that y'all were talking about from Clash and Con. He's a ranch guy.
He was not at Kalashnikon, no.
Okay. I remember y'all talking on Mario's live about the dude that was calling spotting.
Oh my god,
Different dude.
So many questions. So that was a ton of questions. I want to get back to some of my questions. Unless, throw some money in there and maybe I'll read your question. But now it's my turn, okay? So back to the competitive shooting thing. Obviously, Davernov you would call like a sponsor of yours, right?
Yes.
I know you also have Weapon Genetics, Cody sponsoring you.
Yes.
You have Xander, Ammo Guy, sponsoring you.
Dude, yes, that's been huge.
So two-part question. How did the sponsors start to come into play? And are there any new sponsors that we don't know about yet?
So sponsors coming into play. I mean, ultimately that first one with Davernov was him just liking the comedic portion to what I was posting online. Which is a huge part of me too. I love making people laugh. I can't get enough of that. With Cody, I mean, it's again association with you, meeting him at Kalash Bash and Kalashmas and just vibing. The dude's hilarious, and I think we click on a lot of those comedic levels as well. So it kind of just made sense. And he's a great guy. He's helped out with like all sorts of build stuff, all sorts of mentorship, answering questions, building me up, that kind of thing. Like he's been incredible. Xander, ammoguy.net, that's again a branch off from Cody. They have a good relationship, and I think they were talking one night, and Xander didn't have a sponsored shooter for Lethal Weapons, and Cody put me in contact with him, and then that's blossomed to now he's sending me ammo, not just 7.62 but 5.56 and 9mm, so I can go do USPSA. I can do I'm signed up for that Sons of Liberty Gunworks match in November, which is, I mean, that's going to be some big killers out there, I'm sure. So I'm doing 5.56 on that one, and I've been practicing that. It's all been branched out from Instagram exposure. These dudes, Violent Little, Justin, Squirrel Master, showed me them, and then I just wrote them, was like, hey, I've been posting like literally every post I have. I wear this hat, would y'all send me one? He's like, no problem. So now I have a new, fresher hat, and I'm sure if I asked again, he wouldn't be weird about it. But it is kind of a weird thing asking also. You do kind of have to put your foot out there. I've reached out to a couple other companies, and sometimes you get left on red or not even red at all, or be welcomed with open arms. I think you basically have to step out there and do it. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. If I can squeak away.
I had that same conversation with Possum a long time ago. because I had done that same thing. I think before I was ever reached out to, I reached out to JMac. I remember I was sitting on my toilet. I wrote the message probably 5 times over. I'm like, God, how does this, like, who the fuck am I to ask a sponsor to sponsor me? Like, I suck, like total imposter syndrome. And I'm like, I deleted it 10 times. And I just remember finally getting up the balls. And I'm like, you know what? I use their stuff all the time. What the worst they can say is no. And dude, it was the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done. Literally going in the bathroom, I closed the door. I even told Rachel, I'm like, I'm gonna do it.
Leave me alone.
I'm gonna do it. And like once you get that one, other things will kind of branch off from that one sponsor. Like Cody's like, I know an ammo guy, and you know, it absolutely happens that way. And I remember having that same conversation with Possum years ago. Started wearing my JMac shirt. I'm like, I'm a sponsored shooter now. Like I was so proud of that. And I remember Possum was always like, man, how do you get sponsored? I'm like, bro, I just freaking asked. Like it was terrifying. I was so ready for rejection. And then I remember shortly after that, RS Regulate slides up in Possum's DMs. And Possum was like, bro, I don't know how to handle this. He said he'll send me anything I need. He wants me to be successful at a match. I'm like, okay. Answer him. And Possum was like so on the fence about accepting that. He didn't he let it go for weeks and weeks and weeks. I'm like, you're really not gonna tell RS Regulate you want to work with him? Like Scott's the coolest guy. Once he did, I mean, dude, Scott started taking him to events. He started sending him t-shirts and anything he needed, full rails. Like, yeah, man. And some people, as like yourself, yes, you're a good shooter. But sometimes a good personality is all you need for a sponsor to want to take a chance on you. Most sponsors, the fact that you can shoot is a bonus, but they'd rather you be like a good person, make cool posts on Instagram, be a likable person. I think first and foremost, that's what a lot of these guys and girls look for. So they found all of that with this guy because he's also a phenomenal shooter. So Pascal, his dreams were crushed. He thought you actually were sponsored by Hooters. So
I wish. Maybe I should reach out to them. Have Hooters girls come to every match I go to. That would
just
be
tell people you are. Tell people you're sponsored by them.
Also mentioning JMac, you've put me on with them. They sent me some gear to advertise, and I get the whole imposter feeling, dude. It's like I don't have a huge pull on Instagram, but I'm more than willing to support your product and push it and say the truth about it and just be a part of the community. Being a part of this community is so cool. Like that's the best part to me. Just doing something. It's awesome.
And you also said earlier, it feels very weird, even when you have the sponsor, like you've said, all right, I will be one of your sponsored shooters. Even then, don't you ever get that feeling where it's still really just weird to ask for things? It just feels really weird because it's like, God, I don't feel like I don't deserve any of this. And it feels weird. Like I'm asking for something free. Like, am I ever going to repay that? Like, how am I actually repaying this? Like, what are they getting out of this, out of me, for me to even ask for something for free? It feels like it's so one-sided.
Yes. Yeah, it does. But yeah, it does. It feels one-sided. But I mean, we are advertising. As minimal as it is, we are advertising. They're hearing the names, and I'm sure we've made some impact. You don't think that.
Well, clearly, Charlie's son has probably bought some JMac stuff because of you. So
good point. It's a good point.
Probably swiped his dad's credit card and bought some stuff.
I wonder if Charlie would be mad about that. Like, you did what? You bought what? Oh, AK stuff? All right, cool.
Try to be like Jose. Some people want to be like Mike. All of us want to be like Jose. Big Papa Fluffy makes a good point. You ever thought about going to Red October?
Man, just like you had mentioned earlier, I work 5 days a week. I get Monday, Tuesday off. I'm a manager. Like I'm a solid position at my work. So it's hard to get time off and it's hard to go away. And that's always been restaurant life, you know. It's really if you care about the place, if you care about your passion of food, you know, like food isn't a high paying job, so it's a lot about passion. You got to show that, and so it's really hard to get the time off and to save the money up to do these things, which has been huge with a lot of these sponsors helping with that, just so I can be present. Red October would be a dream for sure. Any of those, like that one's in Arizona, right?
It started in Utah, went to Vegas for a few years. Now it's back in Utah.
Okay. I mean, dude, that would be a dream. Absolutely. I want to come so bad. And you know what? Coming from all people, Big Papa Fluffy driving his ass from New Orleans to Texas on a day, you know, I have no right to talk. I should get my ass to Red October.
So we're talking about this, and this is still in the planning phases because we're trying to figure out if Rachel can go. Vacation time becomes a bit of an issue. I mean, dude, we take off a week for Kalash Bash. I take off a week for SHOT Show. There's so much I take time off for that usually I scrape together every sick day and everything I have left just to go to Red October every year. Yeah. When you fly, it's easy, but back in the day, I used to drive there and back. It's 2-day drive there, 2-day drive back. It's a brutal drive.
Yeah.
We were talking at the Airbnb with Goblin and Fluffy and the guys, and we were like, maybe we could pull it off where we all carpool together. We take one vehicle that's big enough for, 2-3 of us, maybe 4, and just bomb it.
We should just do a Prevost like tour band, spray paint the whole thing on the AKs and Instagram names and ride the whole way.
That would be
get that sponsored. That would be badass. If
anyone knows a tour bus guy, send them Jose's Instagram. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's in Utah. See, Thomas Slav was asking. Oh, and our boy Pascal had a good point. He says, I sponsor the German government and they give me money. They give my money to everyone else in the world. Yeah. He sponsors the government with a lot of tax money.
He earns it by driving 300 miles an hour on the Autobahn. Dude sends me videos of him just crushing it on the highway.
Yeah. Like in vans too, which is so funny. Yeah, Cold War's in Arizona. That's a good point. Thank you, Josh. There's a Red October Cold War that is in Arizona.
Gotcha. Is this Josh Brody?
Is this Brody Josh Brody? I don't know. Is that you, Brody? Can't tell. Josh is a very common name. Very boring common name, Josh.
We hate your name.
Dude, what about that freaking burger place we went to? Did you go to the burger place with us?
Yeah, that was cool.
Dude, that place was so cool. I remember saying at the table, I was like, we've been coming to this match for like how many years? And we've never come to this place. We go to freaking Bellicera after every match, like we could have been coming here. That place was super rad.
I don't know. You think we'll be able to get Jim and his crew to come though?
I don't know. We filled that place up, dude. It was like, we filled up 3 full tables, like 12 top tables. Yeah, I think it'd be cool. It'd be cool if the whole freaking match just went and mobbed that place. That place had no parking, but it would be cool to go mob that place.
Yeah, that was cool. Star Wars themed burger spot. I
know John recommended it, said it was awesome.
Yeah, there he is.
Galaxies, that's what it's called. It's super cool. They have arcades. The whole place is covered with Star Wars memorabilia, collectibles, stuff that's not for sale, stuff that is for sale. I loved that you could buy like bottomless cereal.
Yes.
That was super cool. Really, really cool idea.
And they had cool flavors too. It wasn't just your regular everyday stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Fluffy knows all you can eat cereal. I remember seeing I'm like, oh, it's like because there were so many collections of things. I'm like, oh, the guy collects cereal boxes, and someone's like, nah, dog, you can get bottomless cereal, just bowl after bowl.
It was like $7.
Oh man, worth it.
Yeah.
Well, dude, we're approaching 2 hours here. Still got like 80 people watching, and I think, man, I don't know. I just wanted to say that, you have so many people here in these comments that care so much about you. People that are inspired to be better shooters, better people. You've inspired people to come out of their shells and just be more open at these things, right? A lot of people are kind of introverts, you know? I know you've seen them when you go to KB or whatever, or even Jim's match. You can spot these people that you could tell it's either their first match or they don't want to feel like they suck. They don't want people to think they suck when they bring a gun out and shoot. Maybe they bomb a stage. But the thing that I like about you so much is that hopefully you inspire people to not be so introverted and come to these things and see that, you know, like, hey, everyone here is very like-minded. To the point where you can totally be yourself in front of these people. Just be wild, be outlandish, let that personality out. Love that about you. And, you know, it's funny, Big Papa Fluffy's another one of these guys. Dude totally has his own style. Just a very cool, infectious person to be around. And it's just so funny, dude, after doing this for so many years, just the eclectic group of people that Rachel and I have met through you guys, friends of friends. It's just so cool. Without this crazy AK thing, I would not have met some of
So many people.
The most coolest people I've ever had the absolute pleasure. It is my absolute pleasure to meet all these people. John, yourself, Fluffy, freaking Tomislav, all these people so different from one another. All different walks of lives, military veterans, non-veterans, just everything. It's so freaking special, and sometimes we have to be reminded that this thing is extremely special. This who was saying this to me the other day? M26 Lemon Grenade, good buddy of mine. He's like, bro, we got to start calling this AK thing like Clova Nostra, this thing of ours, because it feels so special. Like it feels like it belongs to us.
Yes.
And once you're in it, it's like you don't get out. Once you're in it for life.
Davernov mentioned to me way back in the day how he kind of felt like there was a new era of shooters, a new type of person who is exactly what you're saying, what you're embodying, and we're them. We're it. We're not the FUDs from before, and I don't know. Like he said, it's just a new era of shooters, and that's what it is. That's what the Grenade Dude, like it's special. It's definitely special. It's different, and it's fucking badass, dude. Being a part of this community has brought me so much joy, and I love it. I love it.
Well, we all love you, dude. And man, I think that's such a wholesome thing to come to a close on. But before we close, dude, I don't want to close with me talking. So now that we've all had this big love fest, and you know, I think we all know how special this whole thing is to us. Why don't you leave us? I don't want to say dad advice, but leave us with some advice that only Jose Diaz could give us as we go back out into the world of our day jobs and our AK shooting. Leave us with something.
I feel like I personally have faced a lot of issues where I should have just tried. I should have reached out and done it. I should have attempted something. I should have talked to that person. I should have done something. I'll think about, my day and be like, it would have been cool if I had done this. Do that. If you get that vibe, you get that gut instinct, you have fear of not wanting to do it, fuck the fear. Do it. It almost always leads to something positive. I think the advice is just go, do, and don't be afraid.
And there you have it. Hey, everybody. Thank you. Thank you all for just being a part of this community and being so involved anytime we go live and bring one of the homies on. Like, it's special when we got one of the homies on. It's really freaking cool. Go follow Jose on Instagram. Come shoot these local matches. You'll meet him in person. If you want to meet him in person, come shoot. So he's out of Austin. There's a lot of local matches that he shoots in Austin. You sign up for those matches, you'll bump into him. If you want to come shoot TK, you'll bump into him there. If you want to shoot KB or whatever, I promise you'll see your boy there. But and thank you, man. Thank you for coming on here.
Thanks
Really
for having me,
appreciate it.
dude. It's an honor. I was so stoked, and I've been nervous the past couple days thinking about this. Thank you very much.
Oh, nothing to be nervous of, man. Nothing to be nervous of at all. So with that, thank you all for watching. Never said it before, but I'll throw that shameless plug in. That third pin thread thing. That's how you support us. Buy a
Yes.
t-shirt or not. Doesn't matter.
Support Clay. Support what he's doing for us.
And yeah, that's it. I love you. Bye.
Cheers.